I've written a lot about Mount Desert Island, and of course the Jeffin scholars have it all wired up. There's quite a long time between the album Snow and us when they showed up with Rosa. This was written in March 18th, 1993. It says Raft of the Medusa. The reason I wanted to bring this poem to your attention is that it takes the word game and puts it into the perspective of a bunch of students working in pizza shops in a national park in the heat of not really understanding what is going on. You know, I was coming from when things like um, someone talked to me about the day there stood still, the day before Wall Street crashed in 1987. So you have to understand that what this doesn't. This was my frame of reference as an investigator into the situation. I was just pushing off Peter Gabriel because he wasn't there and it was giving phony baloney about what was going on. And at best, and it doesn't have anything to do with Lennon or Rosa. This is solely about Mount Desert Island and the circumstances, the situation, people not knowing what's going, a generation being moved out of counterculture reference points by this showdown with the show from the shadows. It's called the Raft of the Medusa. I want you to build a frame of reference that's authentic and not rely on the miskin corkscrewing of Jeff and Records. And the reason I want you to do this, try to do this, isn't because I want to dominate your analysis. It's because you're my friend. I want you to be honest with yourself. This was written about the frame of reference that so concerns the Jeffin Corporation that they have framed it around Lennon and Rosa when I knew nothing about either consideration. That was a superimposed grid that they were propertizing by. It had nothing to do with what was going on. This is much more lucid about the circumstance. Scores of working Christians, and I am uncertain. Judgment, grudging orders, tempestuous silences. Frustrated men in camouflage defend against treason. Defend reminds me in melancholy of a childhood certainty. There is a moral fire, and there is a living hell. With intent, outside the rustic New England sanctum, living witch tattoos her thigh, hisses with derision, her cracked black slacks. Her boyfriend loves the boomtown rats. School is on holiday, they kiss. Life replies with twins of lightning, ha! So there is a God, mythic Bonaparte. The quintessential names are listed in a telephone directory, and in the alleyway Eve is burning on a pyre. Complete the death certificate. A JDL boy would administer the whipping. Form 6. What was the note she left behind? Did they really find it on her father Tim's, and did she drown? Alfred Hitchcock slaps his armpit. Would you be interested in speaking to the publisher? Were her lovers interested in LSD? Did she drink coffee at the Beehive? Did she chase white gulls and swing away towards the evening star? And was she beautiful? One Thursday we drank vermouth from a funnel and listened to the Doors. And so, monsieur, we hanged out, concentrated on homework, a textbook printed at Temple, indefinitely made plans to study together again, tried not to steal away into ourselves, feeling desperately wrong. But I was a part of it. Carried water to her under the tree. Talked like a Chinese talking dog of germ warfare and worked some godless hog's head. The street lamps lit up effigies of the Farrell family and that fat kid. The bong toking lawyer took me out to play horseshoes under the cold white light of a bad afternoon sun. Spikes were so erect we never missed a beat. It's mystical perfection, a universe of sleaze. At that stage, anyway, the revolution sputtered. But then I remembered Showa. Excuse myself, please. I reinstated funding for my values, fixed my tie, wrote to the president for peace of all living things in Otsu-Shikokan, Japan. Well, her mom wrote me a love letter to cheer me up. I scribbled a Bacchus in the confessional. Mordecai, the gift of memory, with drawings by Sean McBride, schizophrenic women saving Earth from nuclear Armageddon, and pure Americans riding the river of abortion's blood to a holy war on lesser men, straddle the gay cadavers in plastic body bags. My voice snarls, Nuremberg. Whatever happened to Buckminster Fuller? Dreamer, naive idealist, the choir of local mazes, sneer, abolish prejudice. Rebels and cheers can heal heartbreak. Plagiarize nothing but with a chainsaw. No jokes and no mistakes around here. Crooked exertions over fuzzy legal pitfalls. Scramble out with letters and enclosures. Over the rooftops, hookers are braying to the KKK. You should be proud, O Titans of plenty. Pray for your conqueror with pragmatic faith. Let me sustain you. Won't you plan, having written nothing? Brilliant in climbing up to the avenue of the sun, a new world order where your voice is changed by darkness. Why would we feel shattered, left vacant by the day, if our pale thoughts went still, fading into the wall? You know, I was talking with somebody, I forgot what I was going to say. I maybe meet the person again someday and bring it up. But Owen Jones caught the emotional truth as well as the factual details in his journalism in October of 2023 and through 24. A great hero of mine, Ed Owen Jones. All I could do was get the texture and the emotional truth of the situation. You know, it was hard drama with understanding the contraption that the powerhouse had lowered down on us. And I did complain about these people. Botstein is in my writings at the latest 2010. That's a long time ago to be ignored about Mount Desert Island. It was organized. It was a psychiatric contraption by the perpetrators. Now, I have another poem I'm going to close with because they sort of link up. It's one I've worked on a long time. I'm still not satisfied with. It's called Chess with Delgado. See big knew, see big did not know. See big knew, see big did not know. I say that I do say. I say that I don't say. I say that I do say. I say that I say. There is no such thing as truth. What is reality? Open the door of perception with a scalpel. Close it with sutures. Illusion no meaning. It's all in your mind. It's the purest of fig leaves on the shingles of eaves, and a Marian doctor when rhyme and reason leaves. There's no lucky lotto, there's no will in the motto to protect you. Playing chess with Delgado, Johnny Rotten was incorrect. He once stopped a bull with a spark to its brain, drilled a small hole, plunked it right down the drain. When it charged him, the gore went from snorting to snore. As soft as a kitten at the push of a button, there is such a thing as a proper attitude. Jose Delgado, brain surgery master, found South America just a little bit faster. In a world more orderly, sanitized, less rude, lobotomized citizens are satisfied. Take the Dixie cup from out of the dispenser and place it back into the top. Continue until you run out of cups. It's the purest of fig leaves on the shingles of ease, and a Marian doctor when rhyme and reason leaves. There's no lucky lotto, no will from auto to protect you. Things just with Delgado. I'm not saying I do say, am I? Someone has stolen my mind. And the thought I want to leave you with is Fannie Lou Hamer in 1964 asked the question at the Democratic National Convention: is this America where our lives be threatened daily? Is this America where a deaf poet has to deal with a psychopath group who take playing chess with Delgado so seriously that they're looking for ways to hold me down and cut my brains out? That's how sick it is. That's how sick Ian Wattenmaker is. That's how sick Carnegie Mellon and the University of Pittsburgh is. That's how sick Toon is. And that's how sick Sean Lennon and his mother are.